Hi, welcome back to Susan's Kitchen Corner. On this episode, we're going to be making a dish that has rice and a lot of vegetables. And let's get started. I don't have really a name for this, but I'll just call it a chow because it utilizes a whole bunch of vegetables. You don't use, if you have like a half of a bell pepper from another meal, you can use that. If, let's say you bought some mushrooms for another meal and you only have 3 left, you can put those in. Let's say you have 2 celery sticks and from another meal, and you go, what am I going to do with 2 celery sticks? Throw them in. And don't worry if the celery is a little bit bendy. There's nothing wrong with bendy. Now, if the celery is like straight down, hanging straight down, then there's a problem. But if it's like this, put it in. Okay, so there's a lot more ingredients. If you have the ingredients, great. If you don't, it doesn't, it's whatever you have. So this is a loose meal. If you see something you don't like, don't put it in. This is your own, open your refrigerator, see what you can do. So we're going to need 2 cups of rice, and you want to wash the rice so it's clean and put it under the running water. And what I like to do is take a whisk it a couple times, pour off the white water. Maybe do it 2 times because you don't want to damage, do it lightly, but you don't want to damage the kernels, the rice, not the kernels, not corn. So put that on the stove and add 2 cups of water, and a good judge is to look at your knuckle, right there, like a little gauge, and make sure the rice is nice and flat. Put your finger in, put the water in, and maybe 1 more cup or half a cup. And remember, every pot's different, so you gotta be careful sometimes. So a half cup, so 2.5 cups of water. And I just brought my lid out. There it is. Here's the lid. Now, my lid has a hole in it. I think I pointed out this before. If your lid has a hole in it, great, because gas. Now, on an electric stove, which I love, and I don't have, you can just leave it on with a lid that doesn't have a hole. It'll be perfectly fine. But gas runs at a higher temperature, so if you don't have a lid with a hole in it, just kind of bring it to a boil, watch it, and then gently tilt the lid. Not too much, because you don't want all the steam. That's how the rice cooks. So turn that to high. And I'm going to be right here watching it, and we turn this down. So we got our rice going, and here's some other stuff you can put in it. And I'll go through. I have 2 cauliflower florets. There we go. I got it. Florets. 2 florets, cauliflower florets. I got 1 cup of olives. And let's chop that up. Now, we're not going to cook the olives at all. This is something, the olives don't need to be cooked, but you cut them in half, and then you cut them in 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's cut the rest up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to break the florets into little pieces, because the smaller you break things up, the faster they cook. And we're just going to basically, with the rest of the vegetables, we are going to stir fry them really quick. Okay, there we go. Let's put that aside. And I got some beans. These are homemade cooked beans. And if you have beans, you can throw maybe half a cup in if you want. If you watched my bean video, that's pretty beanerific. And if you haven't, maybe you should check it out. And I got some cilantro, so we're going to chop some cilantro up. Just take them off the stems. Cilantro is so good. And let's see. It's one of these meals that it's like, again, whatever you have. I'm going to be using sausage, And we're not going to be using the whole sausage. We're going to be only using half of the sausage. And if you want, you don't even have to use half the sausage. If you're really tight for money, chop up about this much. So this will get you 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're tight for money, this is 4 meals in this, what I'm making. And again, you can do this with pasta. It's great. So that's how you utilize, you take everything you have. I have, where is it? I have, I'm going to put some pineapple in here. Now you don't want to cook the pineapple. This is not something you want to cook. This goes in at the very end. But what do you do when, okay, where do you put it? Well, I keep my pickle jars, and when I don't have a little bit more left, just stick them in there. Pour the liquid in there. Put the lid on. And you got perfectly preserved pineapple. Well, not preserved, but it's good for a later use. You never want to leave the pineapple in the can. It will oxidize very bad. So we'll chop it up later. Are you making your appearance? Oh my God. Here's her appearance. Kissy cat? Okay. I got levitating cat behind me. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna chop up the cilantro. Yes, she's singing. Are you singing to me? I don't feel bad anymore. I found a video with a lady that has a dog in her show. So the dog has her front paws on the counter and the lady's cooking and she's got like buku hits. So I'm like, you know, if she can have her dog right there while she's cooking, I don't think a little kitty, not on the counter. I don't have her on the counter, but she's not, it's not as bad. So let's put the cilantro in our pan right here, because we're going to cook that with our vegetables. And let's take these florets now and let's break them up. So just cut them really like that. So I want as small as possible. Making baby cucumber. Sorry, not cucumber. Don't even have cucumber here. And if you want, you can chop this up too. It's perfectly edible. Okay, let's break the second one up. Our rice is starting to boil. If you don't like this part that I'm cutting up, don't use it. Okay, so that goes in here, and I don't have it on yet because I'm not going to use that burner. I'm going to use the burner that's right here. So, okay. So I'm going to also use celery. Celery. Sounds like a song. Okay, so we're going to take the cucumber. I'm stuck on cucumber today. I'm very sorry. Okay, as you can see, this is boiling. So turn it down to low. Okay, can you see that? That's boiling. Okay, so cut it right down the middle. Cut it down again. And again. And I got an S curve right there. It's okay. Cut it again. Worth it. Watch your fingers. And this is a great way to cut celery if you're going to add it into a salad. So just cut it really. This is dicing. I did this video before and I got carried away and it went over, so I am redoing it. Okay. Check that in. There, it's checked and got away. Okay, let's use a yellow bell pepper. Cut the top off. Let's just use the top. Let's get that red bell pepper. Take the middle out. Put it in the trash. Chop that in half. We're just going to use half of it. And I always have an area where I have all the vegetables. So now let's take that and we're going to make matchsticks out of it. See? Let's hold it. Now a lot of people say take the ribs out, like this part right here. I leave them in. It's food. It's not going to hurt you. If you don't like it, leave it out. Okay, so get those matchsticks, and let's chop them the other way now. So they make little bite size, so they disperse throughout the meal as far as possible. Okay, let's add that. Okay, let's get that yellow lid. Put that in the little box. Oh, that's nothing. Okay. Same thing. Now this one's a little bit hard to chop because it's bumps on it, but do the best job you can. And make some noise while you're at it. With the okay, now cut it and have some fly off. That's the fun part when you chop stuff. Sometimes stuff does what you don't want it to do. Okay, put that in. Okay. Here's your mushrooms. Chop or pull them out. Now if you want to use those, you can. You can put them in soup. You can keep this, put it in the freezer and put this in soup like they do in the restaurants. Okay, I'm going to do this a little different because my husband hates mushrooms, so I'm just going to chop these in half. This is the way so he can remove them from the meal if he finds them. But I love them. So, but if you're going to chop them, you chop them just like that. There. That's all there is to it. But he has an aversion to mushrooms, so we're going to leave him whole. And, okay, we got our olives. And I have another bell pepper here. This adds color to the meal. It's always good to have something colorful. Here's another bell pepper. And again, we're just going to use the lid. So, and oh my gosh, this one has a baby inside. See that? So, we're going to throw it away. I think on the last episode I used that too. It was a red one. Okay, so this goes in the save pile. Chop it up the best you can. And I will say toodles, and I'll be right back.